guys, I'm Phoenix Carnevale and welcome to thefightnerd.com. I'm here outside the Henso Gracie Academy in New York City and I'm about to interview David Branch. He's going to be taking on Anthony Johnson in the Titan 22 Fighting Championship, and it's going to be on May 25th on HGNet. So we're going to talk to David, find out how his training's going. Come on inside with me. So tell me, you exited the UFC, left a contract, when you go through these different stages in your career, the good, the bad, what makes you continue to do it? How do you stay strong? How do you...
You know what, I just love it. I know that when I was in the UFC, I was still growing as a fighter and maturing. I first got in, I was 6 and up, so it's fairly young in the game. I was a hot prospect when I was coming in, I got in there. And I think I went in there a little too soon, and mentally I wasn't where I should be for a show that big.
Okay, so talk about mental preparation for a show that big. What do you think that people need to do
at this level?
Yeah,
you have to have a good support group. You have to have good people around you,
right?
Good training partners, good people helping you out, and at home, everything has to be at peace. You can't have any kind of chaos in your life, arguing or anything on your mind. You have to just be clear and just have fun doing what you're doing.
Okay, so you think that when you got to the UFC, you really clean record, really strong. Do you think it was the pressure that maybe caused a lot of the losses?
It was a lot of pressure on me. It was a lot of pressure on me. I think that the losses came due to too much respect and me not going after the guy enough. I think that was more so the issue. I think that I didn't go after them because I was playing it safe, trying to not so much playing it safe, but not taking as many risks and chances that I would,
Being apprehensive because of the fear of you had too much to lose. Or
getting cut. I just had a son at that time. So I was thinking about all of those issues. Rent. I had to take care of my child and my daughter. So it was a lot. I was like, man, screw this. I'm not gonna go out there and mess up something when I can just beat this guy if I just stay technical.
Right.
So it was one of those things.
That's a really interesting thing to talk about. We have to be animals and instinctual in some way, and then we have to be technical in another way.
Definitely.
When I think about MMA, I think about MMA, but I have a friend who calls it cage fighting. But it's controlled violence. So how do you find that balance, and when does the maturity come where you're able to find the balance?
I've always been a cerebral fighter. I always thinking that I'm not a guy who just goes out and just throws dice, and I'm not a reckless fighter.
Right.
I've always been a cerebral fighter. When I see opportunities, then I go after it. That's always been my nature. Okay, I think that I got away from that a little bit and went too technical, but it's a balance. You have to, this is entertainment, and you have to find a balance between entertainment and winning,
right?
And you have to entertain the crowd and be an exciting fighter. And I think that I've come to that point where I found that balance.
So, fighting in your personal life, I'm talking about the fight, the will. This is not easy.
No.
Martial arts in general is not easy. You have to be an exceptional person in order to do exceptional things, right? So why do you do it? You could do something easy. You could sit at the desk and you can push papers, which not necessarily easy, but it doesn't take this sort of gusto.
Yeah. It's always been rough for me. I was an iron worker before this, so that job was tough.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just love fighting. It's in my blood. A lot of my brothers are fighters, professional.
Yeah, you've got a very Star Warsian, story about how Sekou Powell was your brother. How did you find out that he was your brother? And can we talk about it?
Yeah, my dad. He got around. My dad was busy.
So he had super fighting genetics.
Yeah, super fighting genetics. A lot of my brothers on his side of the family are athletes, basketball players. One is a wrestler. It's just in the blood.
Right.
I just love to do it. I love the feeling of getting nervous before the fight.
Yeah.
It's almost like 3 o'clock high times 10.
Okay.
When the days start counting down, and you got this black cloud over your head, you're like, man, I gotta fight Anthony Johnson, I gotta fight this guy. And then after a while, when it gets closer and closer, I'm like, God damn, I can't wait until this happens.
Right.
It's like I was born to do this.
Well, how are you going to deal with him and how big his size and his issues with weight, and what's the game plan for this?
I'm not concerned about the weight and stuff like that. I think that that's something that he's gonna have to deal with. He's a professional, and I think that he should have to. We're fighting at 85, and you know, he should try to make sure he comes in at 85. Whatever he has to do in between or before or afterwards, that's fine. I don't care, you know.
Right.
I'm not really. If he comes in and makes weight, that's beautiful, man. It's professional. Good for you. If he doesn't come in and make weight, all right, you know, that's your bad. But I'm still gonna fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna still fight. Whatever the commission works out as far as penalties, if he doesn't make weight, that's on him, you know.
Why do you think that you guys are a good fight? What do you think people are going to see with that fight? Like,
Both
I
athletic,
can't say what's your prediction, you know.
both
like,
athletic, explosive. Anytime you get two black guys fighting, sometimes it's a good fight, you know. You get the black athletics in there, you know.
black legs.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's explosive. He's dangerous striker. And he's gonna bring. He comes off the blocks hard.
Okay.
And
But you look excited for that. You look like that's what you want.
I've been training for that. I've been training with big guys. I've been training with guys that come off the blocks. I've been in the cage banging. Like I've had 9 weeks to train for this. You know, so this is the longest camp I've ever been in. You know, I thank Anthony. You know, because like you know, this is a big opportunity for me. He had a big name in the UFC, and I'm excited for the fight.
Well, you were talking about you know when everything derailed from the UFC. Now you seem at peace and that you have big plans. Is this something you can talk about? These big plans, or are we still like on
these big plans are just on May 25th. Me going in there and being the best David Branch at that time.
Okay.
Those are my big plans right now.
What do you think before you get in there? Do you have a thought process? Do you have a pre-fight ritual?
Just stay focused, you know. Just stay focused on what I gotta do. I know that I'm the main event. I've been the main event before. I've been the first fight. I've been the curtain jerker. I've been the main event. I've been the middle fight. I know that, you know, as the fights go on, I'm gonna go in there in the locker room and I'm gonna relax. I'm gonna break up my sweat a little bit, do the same routine. You know, when you first hear that first fight out there and you hear the music play, then you hear the second guy's music play. Maybe about 3-4 minutes in, all you hear is the crowd. Oh, I know the fight is over.
Yeah.
And that's one down. And then, like, you know, as it starts going, I start warming up. Maybe 3 fights out before I'm about to go. That guy gets stopped, he comes back, you know. Now it's time to go.
Okay.
I just listen to the rhythm. I follow my own rhythm.
Okay, so talk to me about rhythm. And you know, you talk about acting and rhythm, and it's art. What we do is you're a martial artist. And how do you feel that you've evolved as an artist? Finding your rhythm, finding your speed, finding what you're keeping your mind right, things that work for you. Talk like your first fight till now. What's the transition been for you?
Just more self-expression. Everybody that does any kind of fighting, whether it's wrestling, boxing, anything,
Self-expression.
they're gonna do it with how they are, their attributes and how they are, how they express themselves. Like, you know, like I can be like a little flashy sometimes. Like, you know, I feel a good rhythm. You know, so when I go in there, anything that I do, I try to do it and be slick.
Right.
You know, I'm a slick fighter. You know, and I try to be slick at everything that I do.
Do you
Jiu-jitsu,
think
wrestling.
you fight with your personality?
Definitely.
Or is there a different person that
Definitely.
you fight?
It's like smooth, slick, you know?
Right.
You know, I think that when I walk around the streets in New York, I got a certain swag.
Right.
You know,
You're from Brownsville, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I live there now, but I'm not from there, but like, you know, yeah, you know, it's like, even over there, like, you get like a lot of guys that are like, you know, they have like a street style, you know, and I stand out from that because I have like my own style, you know?
Okay.
And so like, it's all on how you are, you know?
Do you find that you're like your brothers in any way? Like, are you like Sekou? Are you like...
A lot like him.
Yeah.
We got a lot in common. We have a lot in common.
Yeah, I was leading up to that. All right, because I know you have to go, so I wanted to go through the randoms. It was the random questions. Okay. If you were a superhero, who would you be?
The Hulk.
Okay. Hulk smash. Did you see the Avengers?
Of course. First day came out.
It was the greatest. Right, that's another story. Favorite junk food?
Favorite junk food?
Yeah.
Cookies.
Cookies. Nicknames.
Nicknames? What's my favorite nickname?
Like, what are your nicknames?
Zambini.
Zambini. Okay, why?
Just a magician.
Okay. There's got to be a backstory to that. Right off camera, his wrestling coach is cracking up.
Yeah.
Why?
You can't
Now you have to
believe I
tell
said
me.
that
There's too
one.
much laughter. Why? You know what? Yeah, never mind. No, there's a look. There's a guy look that
pull a
guys
straw,
make like,
man.
she's a girl, we can't tell you. So never mind. Guilty pleasures like TV or magazines.
Guilty pleasures?
Yeah.
Reality shows.
Reality shows like what?
Like the dating shows.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Okay.
funny as hell.
Bad habits.
Bad habits? Late.
Oh, I missed that.
Late.
That's terrible. It's a disease. It's a disease.
Why is it a disease?
Because I have plenty of time. I look at the clock, right? And I start walking around and I start fidgeting with everything in my apartment. You know, I have like OCD, like forms of OCD.
Right.
So like when I know I have to leave an hour, so it's like 12, and I have to leave out that door at 12:30 to be somewhere at 1:30.
Right.
I won't leave out of the door until 12:45, 12:55, and then I'll go back and I'll check, and it's just like I can't leave. I can't just get my stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a disease. It's no reason. It's
The guy
just a
behind
disease.
the camera
You know?
understands. He does. What do you want fans to know about you?
I'm a cool guy. I'm a cool guy. You know, I'm human. I'm just like everybody else. You know, I just want to entertain.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Definitely teaching, coaching. You know, having fun with my kids.
Is that what gives you the most satisfaction?
Fighting right now gives me the most satisfaction, and being, you know, spending time with my kids. Just doing the right thing by my family. That gives me the most satisfaction. Just doing the right thing in general.
So do you think that sometimes people go into fighting as a last resort, out of hunger, out of desperation? You know, why do you think people do it?
I think it's something that drives you.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of things you can do for money. Like, you know, I don't,
Yeah.
you know, that's like, it's something hard to do for money, to fight for money. I think it's something inside of you that you're born with. I think that that's a special element because there are more people sitting in the stands than there are in the cage.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all my questions. This is a lot of fun. Thank you so much. So you're going to check out the fight on May 25th on HDNet, and it's going to be a great fight. Thanks.